So 2 more races to go until we go into the final stages of round 3 of the championship here at Rowrah in Cumbria. And the next round will be in Lydd in Kent in the southeast on the 5th of June. Here's the starting grid for Minimax, their 3rd and final heat. It's Addison Smith and Lizzie Mentier rounding out the top 2 positions on the front row. Ben Adrian and Jack Burgess. Lewis Goff and Lucas Blanford round out the top 3 rows. Row 4, it's Jared Fox-Whiteley and Ben Horner. Row 5 completing the top 10, it's Taylor Dixon and Michael Ambler. Callum Foster and Zach Turner will line up on row number 6. Row 7, it's Leon Barlow and Oliver Fabricius, with Tyler Lee, Harry Holland, Daniel Parsons and Melissa Adrian rounding out the 18-strong grid. So, drivers making their way around this circuit. Ahead of their final heat, 8 minutes plus an additional lap. So after this, we'll have our 3rd and final Junior Pro Kart heat before we get underway with the Honda B final. And then it'll be the main event of the weekend. 5 respective finals. And also we have trophies to give away. Callum Foster being given a shout out once again from Elaine, aka Sunbather. Callum Foster, number 69. So far, 2 winners. First one, Melissa Adrian. Second one, Lucas Blanford. Now, it's going to see a change whether we are going to have Blanford go to the front of the field early doors. He has been the one to beat this season. So it's Addison Smith and Lizzie Mentier on the front row in the numbers 15 and 50. The number 50 being the defending champion in this class from last season. Drivers make their way through Sunny Bend. Drivers now being told to compress their starting order because out of Paddock Bend they come into the tram lines. Revs rise, noise increases, lights are out, we're off and racing for the 3rd heat as Mentier going towards the outside of the front and gets through on Addison Smith. So Lizzie Mentier round the outside of the second part of the chicane, inspired driving by the number 50. As they make their way through, Lewis Goff now rounds out the top 3 positions ahead of Ben Adrian. There's Lucas Blanford rounding out the top 5 ahead of Jared Fox-Whiteley. There's Jack Burgess in the 94. He's a lot further up the order than he would have started just over a few seconds ago, but brilliant job there from him. And Blanford looking up the inside to get 2 for the price of 1 through the stewardesses. Has the number 59 made it through on the run down towards St John's? He's lined up behind Lewis Goff and sends it up the inside through into the right-hander. Lewis Goff looking to pit it towards the outside. Blanford takes the apex neatly through Sunny Bend, but Goff gets the run through on Blanford heading into Paddock. And now a change back again. Goff ahead of Blanford. There's the number 48 of Ben Adrian. Blanford up the inside of Goff to retake 3rd place, going through into the chicane as we're into the first minute and change of this race. But Mentier and Smith leading the way, less than half a second apart. Mentier with the fastest lap of the race, 1 minute 2.360. There's the number 12, that's Ben Horner, battling away with the likes of Jack Burgess, amongst others, and Callum Foster. And there is the number 12, more strife, I'm afraid, for Ben Horner. Oh, that was very close indeed. Between, well, it's getting even closer between the likes of Jared Fox-Whiteley. think that was Lewis Goff just up ahead of him in the number 4. So top 3, Mentia leads the way. It was a 1 minute 2.360 from the number 50. Gap now, 0.7. Blandford sets the fastest lap of the race, 1 minute 1.264. Fox Whiteley up into 4th from 6th on the previous tour. Lewis Goff and Ben Adrian, followed by Jack Burgess. Jack Burgess has just been given a warning. Just been informed that the B final for Honda Cadets will go to 9 minutes plus a lap, and then all of the finals, normally 15 minutes plus a lap, will be reduced to 12 minutes plus a lap. As now there's Leon Barlow being followed by Callum Foster. That's the battle for 8th position on the road. As now Lucas Blandford has got past Addison Smith, and now the hunt to chase down Lizzie Mentia begins, but she's got a comfortable gap at the moment, looks to be more than a second. So now Smith and Blandford have to start working together. If they want to battle for the lead, they've got to start pushing now with 5.5 minutes still to go. Make that 5 minutes plus an additional lap to go. Jared Fox Whiteley, fastest lap of anybody, 1 minute 1.197. He's right all over the back bumper of Addison Smith, going through the chicane in the number 22. Won't line it up for McRae's because Smith goes defensive. Well, actually, he looks to go up the inside of Blandford. Blandford manages to get back on. Smith gets a warning from race control. There is Lewis Goff. There is Ben Adrian. As up the inside, sideways there from Addison Smith. Loses a bag of momentum, and around the outside of him goes Jared Fox Whiteley after. Lucas Blandford managed to get through. We've got another warning flag coming out for the number 15 cart. And that's Addison Smith, who's just been passed by Jared Fox Whiteley. He's sandwiched in between Fox Whiteley and Goff, and those two were battling in cadets last year. Goff being the 112 champion in CKC, and Fox Whiteley unfortunately not able to take part in the season finale at Clay Pigeon last year due to being struck down with COVID-19. Finishing runner-up. Oh, Fox Whiteley sideways coming through paddock. And Addison Smith fractionally behind. They were 69 thousandths of a second apart, but Lewis Goff is keeping them very, very honest indeed as we're past the halfway mark on the timer. 3 minutes and 40 plus an additional lap. Ben Adrian is keeping pace with them. Zach Turner's now got a warning, the number 99, rounding out the top 11 places. So all 18 drivers, all the way down to Ben Horner, who rounds out the grid. Switch move there from Leon Barlow. Jack Burgess back up the inside, down the back straightaway, heading into the stewardesses. So they're battling away over 7th position. There's Blandford coming through into shot. Fox Whiteley, Smith, Goff, Adrian. There's Burgess and Barlow, who's got Foster right up his back bumper. Harry Holland rounds out the top 10, but Mentia still leading the way. The minute she got to the front of the field very early on, managed to get the advantage very, very quickly indeed. Blandford just put in the fastest lap, and then straight away Fox Whiteley decided, sorry, you're not having that one, I'm going to have it. 1 minute 0.852 from Jared Fox Whiteley as Lewis Goff completely sideways coming out. It's all line astern here between the likes of Burgess, Barlow. Oh no! Contact between Burgess and Barlow, and that has allowed Foster and all to get past. And they tried to rejoin, and I've just seen that Ben Horner's just got caught up in that as an unwilling participant. That is Callum Foster, who's just had a moment in the number 69. That'll be through Iredale's. So the 99 of Zach Turner has gone through. Tyler Lee just behind the number 69 from Clacton-on-Sea. Callum Foster actually started, well, he was the Rye House Fangio champ and Imola champ in 2020 and 2021. Wilton's one of the only circuits that he's visited on this calendar. Loves PFI, and now he's up the inside of Zach Turner. Drifts a little bit wide as number 69 catches the curb. The back end steps out once again for Callum Foster, but he manages to control it. Down into the last minute and a half of this race as Mentia leads the way from Blandford by 1.5 seconds. As, mechanical black flag out for Michael Ambler in 16th position in the number 25. So Ambler will have to park that kart. Still this battle here. This is through the stewardesses. Always close between the likes of Zach Turner, Callum Foster, Tyler Lee and Melissa Adrian. They round out the top 13 positions. Then we switch our attention to Taylor Dixon. There's Oliver Fabricius trying to go up the inside of the 77 of Harry Holland through paddock. 40 seconds on the clock. We've got this plus another additional lap still to go. And Mentia leading the way ahead of Blanford by just under 1.5 seconds. Mentia a 1 minute 1.420, Blanford a 1 minute 1.346. There's Fabricius and Holland battling away. This is for P8 on the road. Fabricius manages to keep ahead of the 77 for the moment as we head into the final 10 seconds of this race, and also their heats racing for the day here at round 3 of the championship. A little bit further back, Callum Foster still wrestling away with Zach Turner and Tyler Lee. Timer hit 0. And Lizzie Mentia, coming out of the final corner, gets the last lap board signal. Blanford was 1.4 seconds behind. Now he's just over 1.4 seconds behind, now just under 1.4 seconds behind as we go onto the final lap. Jared Fox-Whiteley still sitting in 3rd place. There's the battle for 4th. Addison Smith ahead of Lewis Goff and Ben Adrian in the 15, the 4 and the 48 respectively as they make their way through into Iredales for the final time of asking. So 17 of the 18 drivers still running. Michael Ambler out on lap 7 with the mechanical black flag. There is the top 3, and then the 3 battling over 4th position down into Sunny Bend for the final time of asking. The checkered flag is being prepared, and great to see Lizzie Mentia on the front sharp end of the grid as she comes out of the final corner and wins the race ahead of Lucas Blanford by 1.1 seconds. Jared Fox-Whiteley not only takes 3rd but takes the fastest lap of the race, 1 minute 0.852 seconds. Addison Smith and Lewis Goff round out the top 5 ahead of Ben Adrian, Taylor Dixon, Oliver Fabricius, Harry Holland and Zach Turner rounding out the top 10. Tyler Lee in 11th ahead of Callum Foster. Melissa Adrian rounds out the top 13. Leon Barlow in 14th ahead of Daniel Parsons, Ben Horner and Jack Burgess. An unfortunate incident between Barlow and Burgess earlier on a few laps ago compromised their opportunity to be in the top 8 at the checkered, with Michael Ambler rounding out the 18 strong, retiring with a mechanical black flag on lap number 7.